We all already know that storytelling is a very powerful hack when it comes to selling, because it is one of the most powerful psychological tricks that you can play on the human brain, which helps them to make a faster buying decision. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can tell stories that will help you to sell and close 10 times more clients than you're doing right now. Let's go. So hello and welcome back to my channel. Yay! This is Deborah Omeni, but I'm called Debbie Ignites. And in case you're looking to make more money online through sales and you're looking for business ideas, business tips, sales funnel tips, and all of those marketing hacks, then you may want to subscribe to this channel, because I share a whole lot of those, and that's the only thing that I do right here, all for free, just for you. So you want to click the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you can get notified when next I publish a video. So in today's video, I want to share with you a step-by-step formula that you can use to create stories, to tell stories that will help you sell. So how can you tell stories that sell? Well, the first thing you need to do is use this simple formula that I'm going to be giving to you. The first step of that formula is 1. Begin. Yes, this is the point where you get to make these people to understand that you are just like them. That is how you begin a storytelling technique. You want to make people understand that you are just like them, or you give them a case study of someone who was just like them. So you want to let them know that, hi, you were once this unfortunate person who is as unfortunate as they are, or you were once this person who is going through these particular issues that they currently have, right? You're not saying they currently have this problem. I'm just trying to let you know that that's what you should be doing, right? So all you're doing is you're painting yourself in the same picture that they are right now, and you're letting them know that you have gone through that problem. Now, an example of how you can begin is saying something like, hi, my name is Jane, and the very first time I ever tried to make a sale online, I struggled so badly. I did everything I thought I was doing right, but at the end of the day, all I heard was crickets. Nobody bought anything from me, and I had spent all I had running Facebook ads. Now you can see that I just said something that many people can relate to, and maybe you're even watching me right now, you're like, damn, I can relate. That's exactly how you tell a story. You begin that story from the lowest parts, the lowest and the most difficult thing that your prospects could possibly be going through. That's exactly how you can get them to relate with you immediately, and boom, you've gotten their attention. Now the second step is the pain. The pain. Now you've started with the beginning of trying to relate to what they are going through. Now the second stage is where you get to agitate the problem. So you want to be able to state the pain, the mess, the embarrassment, the discouragement, whatever word that you can think of right now. This is the point where you agitate the problem. Okay, so you want to be able to agitate this problem, shake it, make it run over. Okay, make it run over, make it so well that they can literally feel like you really went through this stuff. Okay, so I want to continue my example by saying something like, at this point I knew that I was doing something wrong. My Facebook ads were doing so terribly. I had spent all my money. I thought I had it all figured out. In fact, the night before, I had watched all the videos I could watch, and I really thought I was going to get this done. My landlord was already on my neck. The money that I had spent on running ads was this. Now you can see that I'm just trying to agitate the problem. Now this is something I'm coming up with off the roof of my head. Of course, you can do better than that, right? So if you're selling a weight loss product, you want to be able to hammer on the weight loss issues, the kind of things that people who are trying to lose weight go through. Okay, so you want to talk about the pain, and these things you can get by just going to do a simple Google search. What are the most what are the pain points of people who are trying to lose weight. Now you get all those pain points and agitate it into your story. So you want to be able to tell and agitate this problem to the extent that they can literally subconsciously feel it inside their heads. Now step 3, this is where you move ahead to the one thing. The one thing. That's the step 3. Now remember that you started by beginning letting them know that you were just like them, or you know someone who was just like them. Then you went ahead to agitate the problem. You hammered on it. Now is the time when you bring the one thing. Now there can be different things that helped you to succeed, but you want to make it into one thing that you were able to utilize that helped to change your story. But then this is how you use the one thing. I know that right now you're thinking you just go ahead and shoot your shots, tell them about your products. No, you tell them about this one thing, which could be an idea, okay? And you need to create a loop when doing this. So after I have agitated the problem, I want to say something like, I'm continuing with my example, right? So I'm going to say something like, hey, it was then just one day after I had totally given up on this thing called online business, and I was already beginning to think of where I could get a job or what I could start to do next. Then I came across one thing that changed the whole game for me. Now you can see I have gotten their attention. They want to know, what is this one thing? But do I go ahead and tell them the one thing? No. Immediately you go ahead to try to sell to people at this point of your story, you lose out on some sales. Because at this point, they still feel like you're trying to sell to them. And if they immediately perceive that you want to sell something to them, they will run. You want to be able to make sure that you keep them engaged by leaving them with an open loop. So right now they're wondering, what is this one thing? Then I will go ahead to say something like, this one thing was exactly what helped me to move from this to this. But before I tell you about this one thing, you see that I'm still leaving an open loop. So you want to leave as much open loops as possible. You want to make sure that before the person reaches to the part where you get to sell, that person is actually somebody who is really interested in what you're selling. Because anybody who is not interested and anybody who is not flowing with that story is possibly not going to want to buy. So what's the point, right? You want to be able to make sure that you use this open loop to weave out the people who are not interested, while you use it to keep those who are interested to feel connected with you. So while you do the open loop, the next thing to do is to insert a testimonial or insert social proof. Now you've told them about this one thing that changed everything for you, and you told them how this one thing was able to move you from here to here. The next thing is to give them a testimonial or to give them a social proof. So now they've known in their head, somewhere subconsciously, they know that there's one thing you're going to tell them which can help them to get this particular result. And they've seen that, oh, some people have actually gotten this result, or you have gotten this result. So now they're really thinking, what is this one thing? That is when you lead them to the next stage of your storytelling technique, which is transition to education. So now what you want to do is to transition to an education content. You don't want to go ahead and sell. Instead, you want to educate them on this one thing. Don't forget, you've made them believe that there's one particular thing that can actually help them. Now you want to educate them on that one thing. Now you can decide to break that one thing into different steps that you took, or into 10 things that you did, or 3 things that you did, or one thing that you discovered that helped you to take X, Y, Z, X, B steps that actually led to the particular results. Now I'm sure you are thinking that educational content is where you start to teach them and teach them and teach them. No, you're not teaching with your educational content. Instead, you are planting ideas in their head. Don't forget that in the last step we just talked about, you told them that there's one thing or 3 things, right, depending, that you did or you discovered which helped you to move from this place to this place where they are right now to this place where they want to be. This thing you discovered is what helped you to do that. Now with your educational content, you're trying to plant a particular idea in their head that will help them to actually see that, okay, this is what I need, right? And once they've been able to see that this is what they need, that is when you can now move to the next step, which is your turn, where you get to tell them that this is your turn, and then you pitch your product to them. So now what you want to ask yourself is, what idea do I want to plant in their heads? For example, if I were trying to sell a weight loss product, then I would say I had struggled so much with losing weight, and I had been told I had to do this. Don't forget the things I've talked about in one of my videos where I talked about painting a particular common enemy, right? Now you get to talk about the fact that, oh, you did this, I have done this, done that, and I was really tired until I discovered one thing. Now, what is this one thing? I discovered that it was possible for me to enjoy my life, eat the kind of meals that I want, and live the best of my life without having to eat vegetables like a goat, while I can still lose weight. Now, that's an idea that I'm going to plant in their head. That is the one thing that I'm trying to tell them that I discovered. Now, in my educational content, I'm going to plant this idea strongly in their head by trying to let them know that I know you've heard. Now, this is a particular frame that you can use, and it's called a controversial frame. Now, if you want to post or give people an educational content, you may use a controversial frame. Now, controversial frames are frames that you use to tell people that this is what you think you need, but this is what I can help you to achieve. So you tell them, I know you've heard that you need to do this, you need to eat vegetables, you need to cut down on how you eat your Nigerian meals, you need to do this, do that, but here's the truth. That is not true. You can actually achieve your body or your desired body weight without having to starve yourself. Now, this is about thinking, what? You know, that kind of a stuff, right? Now you put that idea in their head, and you need to be able to plan that idea so well that by the time you are done explaining that idea to them and planting that idea in their head, you can now go ahead and tell them that it's your turn. If I have been able to achieve my desired body just by doing this while still enjoying this, then I believe that you can do that too. Now you go ahead and pitch your product, and the truth is, before you even pitch your product, they are already ready to buy from you. And that's it. Once you've been able to tell a story as simple as it is with the frame that I just shared with you, then you will always find it easy to get people to connect with you, and you'll be able to use this to emotionally trigger things in their head that will help them to make the buying decision faster. I know you've gotten value from this video. If you've watched to this point, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button, because you don't want to miss out on the other videos that I'll be sharing with you. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm very sure you will enjoy other videos that I'm going to be attaching at the end of this video. You want to check them out, because this can help you to do better with your business and to make more sales. Till I come your way next time, see ya.